my name's Daniella. So this is my interactive advanced concept start to my video for week 3. Right now I'm in my room, so I'm going to go outside, gather my materials, and show you the volcano experiment involving a water bottle, baking soda, and some vinegar. Definitely doing this outside. Thank you. Stay tuned. So as I just left off, I told you that I would be going outside for this because I don't know if there's going to be a mess. But to show you my materials, I have some white vinegar with me. This is a funky container, but the bottle, I don't remember what happened to the bottle, but we have it in this container. So this is white vinegar in a fitness cup. I have some trusty Arm & Hammer baking soda. And I also got some food coloring to make it a little bit more fun and look like real lava. So I got some orange food coloring that I'm going to drop into the vinegar so it can emulsify and then put the baking soda in. So I'm just going to open up my container. Just going to drop a little bit of food coloring in here because I want it to look cool. Now, I actually love to cook, so I've actually done this experiment a few times, but I don't have that much vinegar left, so I hope that this creates enough of a reaction. My mom is also a science teacher, so I help her with some of her experiments that she'll teach her students, I was going to say children, and they tend to do this a lot, but I don't have the most vinegar, as you can see, so I'm going to try to keep my proportions accurate enough in order to get the reaction I'm looking for, if I get one. This baking soda hasn't been refrigerated, because we have a container in the refrigerator already, so I'm hoping it works, and if not, we'll discuss later. Okay, so I'm just gonna shake this up again. I wanted it to look like lava because I'm a child, 23 years old, and this is the kind of stuff that excites me. So I'm putting this on the sidewalk next to me, so I'm gonna try to get this angle, and right now I'm just gonna put some baking soda in the cap of this. Oh, and you can already kind of see how it's reacting in the cap itself, so that's a good sign. This is actually probably a better suited container because I can just kind of take it and drop the cap. So it's definitely foaming up, as you can kind of see, and it's rising. I'm just going to put this down, and then I'm going to add some more baking soda to it. I hope you guys can see. So give it a little shaky shake. I think this cup might be a little bit wide, and it's a little bit too tall, I think, for the amount of vinegar that I had to really kind of overflow and create that like magma effect or lava. But I think the sodium bicarbonate actually neutralized the acid already, so that's why it's not really foaming up as much as it did before. So if you give me a moment, I'm going to go back into my house and I'll discuss the experiment. Thank you. Hello again. So we're back on a different recording device. So as you saw in my intro, we did the vinegar and baking soda volcano experiment. Kind of resulted in a little bit of a lackluster volcano, but we saw the effect of the baking soda and vinegar reacting. So just to kind of put this experiment into perspective, baking soda is a weak base and white vinegar vinegar as a whole is a weak acid. So the baking soda and vinegar react chemically because of this relationship. They react in 2 separate types of reactions. It's an acid-base reaction. So when they're first mixed together, the hydrogen ions in the vinegar react with the sodium and bicarbonate ions in the baking soda, and that's what you saw when it starts to kind of do that fizz. So this is the initial reaction, and it actually equals 2 new chemicals, carbonic acid and sodium acetate. Yeah, kind of cool. So the second reaction, because as I said, it forms 2 separate reactions, is a decomposition reaction, and this is when you see those bubbles start to go down, and when you saw me add a little bit more baking soda after the initial fizz, it stopped, and that's when I had said that the bicarbonate neutralized the acid. This is a decomposition reaction, and it's the carbonic acid formed from the first reaction begins to decompose into water and carbon dioxide gas, so there's no more bubbles. It's like when you kind of leave a carbonated drink and it flattens. That's because the carbonic acid has decomposed, so there's no more opportunity for those bubbles to form or for the compound to fizz. The bubbles will kind of rise to the top, and it's reached its reactive threshold. So because of the amount of vinegar that I had, you saw it was like super small, and I'm sorry that my hands are purple, I was doing something. The amount of vinegar that I had and the amount of baking soda that I put on eventually reached that capacity where there was no more Volcano, and it was just me mixing some stuff. So as you saw, I didn't have that boom, explosion, lava moment, but I have done this experiment previously. I mentioned my mom was a science teacher and works with young children, and I've helped her with this experiment. So if you have the right resources, the right amount of, the correct ratio and things like that, these acid-base reaction can really create something a lot more satisfying than what I did. But you got the effect in seeing those two products react to each other, and it's cool. So I wish I had a different container and more vinegar, but it was super satisfying to perform. I hope you guys learned something in my explanation, and I hope you enjoyed this video. So thank you for coming from my room, outside, doing the experiment, back to my room, and I'm going to go wash my hands so they no longer smell like vinegar. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.